Welcome back to Journos Speak, and we were discussing national parties and regional aspirations of the voter with Pamella and Ramnath. Ramnath, you are saying something about regional parties in Goa. Goichi asa त्यो party कशी आहा कितें आहा हाचे बद्दल.
One thing I would like to make clear that the MGP, which was the foremost party after liberation, it still exists after 50 years, and that is very satisfying, gratifying thing. But most of the parties which came later were either disappeared or are still there but non-functional. I think they came into existence because of some self-interest. That's why they could not withhold. So one statement I would like to make is that it's not important to have a party, but it's important to run a party, and that's how Goa has been witnessing the later parties, where their disappearance is not a very surprising thing.
Appearance and disappearance, both are not surprising.
Yeah.
But it must be said also that don't forget that the MGP was formed also with the thing of aligning, of merging with Maharashtra. So yes, that's one aspect.
And also,
that one,
I don't know how far it's true. The connivance of the Maharashtra Congress leaders, it's what
at that time the history books tell us that.
Yeah.
But the point is that also that all the parties which are formed, the regional parties that are the smaller regional parties, we hope that they would be big players, but one sees that they only articulate regional sentiments when it comes to bargaining for their own personal positions with a national party.
For political gains.
Exactly. You're thrown out of a national party, you're not given a ticket, so then you form a regional party, and then you start spouting regional aspirations and you talk about issues. I really think that these are sometimes, the regional aspirations are sometimes basically middle class aspirations. They are middle class aspirations also for some form of protectionism, to say, don't industrialize so fast, don't sell Goan land so fast, because we are not ready to take on this this massive growth. We have infrastructural problems, we have other sorts of problems.
So is that why, because of Goan middle class, as you said, middle class protectionism, that the parties like the BSP won't find a foothold in Goa?
I think it has a completely different ethos. So that's why it won't find a foothold. It's not speaking the language of the local people from this particular area. It would appeal to where the caste contradictions are stronger. It would appeal to people like that.
Now currently the scenario in Indian politics is that a lot of the states, there are a lot of regional parties coming up, capturing power in all the states, where national parties are try to make coalitions with the regional parties. I mean, such a scenario, now ek dusre talkakade hota ki would it be right to say that state elections should be fought only by regional parties and the national parties should come into the picture only for national elections, if you have simultaneous elections, something like
that's
that?
Parliament elections, national parliament.
Elections.
No, there was also talk of having only two parties like the UK
states,
or the United States. That was one thought. Now this you cannot probably prevent and put a bar that these parties can elect. It would be totally unconstitutional.
No, even let's take the Congress of YSR in Andhra some years back when YSR was living. It was practically a regional party of Andhra, only led by YSR and with a national party label. Now, when this party, this YSR's Congress party, fights the parliamentary elections, on what basis is it fighting them?
On regional issues.
Only on regional issues. So
and the way the national issues impact that region.
So there is no national agenda left at all for us. Is it come to that?
No, of course there is a national agenda and there is a regional agenda, and the two are constantly in a state of flux, and it's constantly in a state of negotiation. So if you have regional parties, yes, they can articulate your regional sentiments better, but I think all national parties with strong regional leaderships have also been able to do that. We've seen
shift to national issues or regional issues as the situation demands.
As the situation demands. Yeah. But if push comes to shove, they take a strong regional stand at many points.
But at extreme levels, this has led to secessionist demands. Tamil Nadu some years back was on the verge of making demand. Every party in Tamil Nadu was making this demand. Now, isn't that a danger that the structure of the country faces if too many regional parties capture power?
But that is a federalism which is imbued in the Constitution of India. You cannot say that regional parties only regional parties should contest state elections.
That is one extreme of the argument.
Yeah, that is undemocratic. It's just not written in the constitutional democracy that India is following. We have
coming
a
back to Goa and the
situation.
elections now. Ramnath Bab, ह्या इलेक्शनाक काँग्रेसीचे मॅनिफेस्टो ते सांगता की येतले मॅनिफेस्टो की भायले लोकांना लँड एग्रीकल्चरल लँड घेवपाक मेळची ना जशी आय थिंक तूं हिमाचल प्रदेश or somewhere it is there. Himachal. So I mean on this aspect, can it really, you really feel that this manifesto, whatever they have promised, they'll follow it? Can it be done?
It's very difficult to say whether they will follow it. They have not followed it for so many years. Now they had been in power.
Probably Congress, Kunche party will promise the same thing. What the people demand at present.
Even if some other parties come, they can implement it. But one point I would like to make is now very less land is left. If you compare the land which was existing some 10 years ago and now it's comparatively very less land is left, and it has to save, but it can do it. It can do it, and through legal procedures it can do it. It can pass a bill in the assembly and bring a legislation. I feel the time has come for them to do. From my side, if you ask me,
I think any party which comes in power,
time has come, because it has reached very extreme position. And if the remaining land goes, then really the.
But hangaच अशी आता की suppose एक regional party power आयली, MGP was fighting on its own, then wouldn't it find it easier to address this problem? I mean, of passing a bill as far as the state legislature.
Strangely enough, no. The point is that if you're talking about the MG, the thing is that the land issue, the Congress or the BJP or any national party will respond to the local sentiment. And I agree with Ramnath, because now the point is that the time has come when there's very, very little land left. Everybody has been helping themselves to the land from Goa, and a legislation can and should take place, and especially for agricultural land, because you're talking about food security of the nation. You cannot, I mean, there's tremendous pressure on agricultural land to be converted for commercial purposes, in tourism areas, for real estate purposes, for for all kinds of, somebody wants to set up a football ground in an agricultural field. I mean, there's enough of open space elsewhere. Why do you want to situate your projects in agricultural areas? You have to look at, I mean, food is getting much more expensive. India will shortly have a food problem. So for that there is very, very strong reasons for that to take place.
But then I was asking about the difference, regional party, national party. How would
I don't think it depends on whether it's a regional party or a national party. It really depends on people, putting this issue forward and debating it, because it really is a serious issue. I mean, MS Swaminathan has already spoken about the fact that you can, this tremendous pressure on agricultural land to convert it into non-agricultural is a big problem.
And coming down to simple politics, I mean, nominating candidates for the elections. Now we always hear about this high command deciding about candidates. That is when the national party is there. Does it make any sense to the voter whether the high command decides candidates or the local command or whatever?
That was what I was saying, that the biggest advantage of a regional party is that it doesn't have a high command. Now, about national parties choosing or selecting their candidates, the process is that the local body, the local unit sends the list of candidates to high command. And normally the high command, with discussion without any changes, pass it. Maybe 1 or 2 or 3 constituencies there is a discussion.
But then there is this feeling in the populace that we are being ruled by Delhi. I mean, how legitimate and how justified is that feeling in the case of a national party?
To some extent it is true. It is Yeah, I think but really what happens is that the local leaders are fighting amongst themselves, and then because they cannot resolve their own differences, they go to a third party, which is the high command, to sort it out. And it takes place in all national parties, because there is a certain hierarchy, there's a local unit, there is an election committee, there is a...
No, but in all this, during the elections, we hear this thing that we don't want to be ruled by Delhi. I mean, that is what it basically boils down to when it comes to the people, the so-called regional parties. Now, is that justified? Should we not be ruled by Delhi at all, or what is it?
You are part of India, you will of course be ruled by Delhi.
No, what I feel, it's a strange situation. At least this election, if you see, for this particular election, a party like Congress has more than one candidate for constituencies, while a party like MGP has none for a constituency. Looking for candidates. So this is a very odd situation we are in, and for such a situation, we can't hold the high commands for responsible. That's what I feel.
When Nehru said Goa ke log ajeeb hai, I thought exactly this, because in all the states is going reverse.
No, but it's also reflective of the times. No, the MGP was a strong party at a particular time. The economy of Goa was at a particular nascent stage. So they were pro Bahujan Samaj, they were pro agriculturists. So it worked at that particular level. Now you're talking about Goa in 2010, where you're not only talking about integration with full integration in terms of accepting industrialization and all of it, but you're also talking about globalization. So it's a double whammy. You have to integrate. So you can't, I don't think Goa can integrate with a regional party. They just don't have the vision. There are contrary impulses. You want to go ahead, at the same time you want to protect your turf. Not just Goa, every state has it.
So a national party with the right type of regional leaders, I think.
Exactly. I think the way Digambar Kamath acted on that SEZ thing and protected Goan interest, because he was pushed by the people, is a fantastic example of showing how you can work with your regional aspirations, with a local leader who's in a national party, but who's protecting your interest.
I'm running out of time. Ramnath, to the last thing on this national party, regional aspirations.
Now if we see the possibilities after this particular election, we can either have Congress NCP government, which were both are national parties, or we can have on the other hand BJP MGP government, wherein we will have one national party and one regional party. But if this regional national combination comes to power, then we have also to look how much MGP will have a say in the government. That is also important. It's not important that a regional party comes to power, but how much say it has in the government.
And how much it plays second fiddle to the
BJP. That we have to see. So it's very important to see not only the aspirations, but how the party converts the aspirations into progress and development of the state.
Thanks Ramnath Bab, thanks Pamella. Actually, I forgot to welcome both of you at the start of the program. So I thank you actually for this very enlightening talk.
Thank you very much.
And actually, the way I look at it, national parties, regional parties, I mean, the boundary is vanishing actually.
Very fluid,
and regional aspirations of the people, national aspirations, we have to have global aspirations actually, and then that's the way it goes, I think. Thanks a lot for coming here. Thanks a lot for the discussion.
Thank you. Thanks,
and keep watching, viewers. Thanks for watching. Keep watching Prudent Media.